Yeah, so I see Hilkane is here. So are you ready? Okay, so we come to another module today. It is about word formation, and it's not only important in grammar, it also helps a lot in our reading. Okay, if you can understand this part well, you remembered a lot. So you can guess the meaning of the words. So you don't need to base on not only on the context when we read, but also on the word, on how it is formed. Okay, so let's welcome the presentation from Vic's group, right? Yeah, Phú. Okay.
Dạ thưa cô, có một vấn đề nảy sinh đột xuất là Phi là một bạn trong nhóm em thuyết trình hôm nay, nhưng mà bạn có trong lớp, nhưng mà từ nãy giờ bọn em không liên lạc được với bạn, không biết bạn đi đâu rồi.
Sao mắc cười quá vậy? Không liên lạc được với bạn là bình thường các bạn liên lạc bằng cách nào?
Ý là gọi điện hoặc là nhắn tin, nhưng mà nãy giờ thử rồi mà không có trả lời trả vốn gì hết.
Ghê vậy.
Thật ra là từ tối qua nó không liên lạc được rồi cô ạ.
Ghê vậy, bạn có bị cách ly không?
Dạ không á.
Vậy bạn nói phần nào?
Dạ phần cuối cô.
Phần cuối hả? Okay. Compound nouns and adjectives hả? Đúng không? Cái phần bài số 98 hả?
Dạ đúng rồi.
Dạ đúng rồi cô.
Ok, rồi thì bây giờ mình cứ trình bày bình thường đi, rồi tới khúc cuối xem như thế nào. Ví dụ như trong quá trình bạn nào sắp nói tới đó thì bạn khác trong nhóm cố gắng liên lạc bạn thử, còn không được thì thôi, không sao hết ha. Thì mình cứ nghe cái phần của mình thôi.
Rồi em bắt đầu nha cô.
Dạ, ok.
So, good morning, teacher and friends. This is Group 8, and our members are Lê Hồng Quốc Việt, which is me, Trần Đoàn Thiên Phú, Trần Duy Tường, and Hà Nguyên Phi. And today, we are giving an online presentation centering on Module 18, Word Formation. Module 18 consists of 4 units. Unit 95, Forming Nouns, will be presented by me. Trần Duy Tường and Trần Đoàn Thiên Phú are responsible for Units 96 and 97, respectively. And Hà Nguyên Phi will conclude our presentation by giving a speech to the final unit, Unit 98, Compound Nouns and Adjectives. Now I shall begin my part, Unit 95, Forming Nouns. Headline number 1, using suffixes. Well, let's have a brief introduction of suffixes. These are short additions to the end of words, and they are added to make new words. Here are some examples. By adding the suffix "er" to the end of bank, we can create the new word banker, and the same case also applies to the rest of the examples. By adding "ment" to govern, we have government. By adding "age" to short, we have shortage. By adding "er" to borrow, we have borrower. And in addition, it is important to notice one thing. Sometimes the spelling of the original word changes when a suffix is added. As you can see, when we combine the word cycle and the suffix "ist", the letter E is made redundant, and it is replaced by "ist". Similarly, when we combine argue and ment, the letter E is also erased, and it is replaced by ment. So we have the word arguments. Next, I shall continue my speech by talking about jobs, beliefs, and languages. Well, and I shall talk about job first. Let's look at the number 1 category here, featuring a table containing verbs, suffixes, and many vocabulary related to person and jobs. So by incorporating with build, drive, and teach, we can create builder, driver, and teacher. By incorporating E with employ, interview, and pay, we can create employee, interviewee, and payee. By adding or to act, educate, instruct, we have actor, educator, instructor. And by adding and to apply, assist, and consult, we can have applicants, assistant, and consultant. And here is the second category, and this time we have nouns instead of verbs, and they are art, cycle, guitar, and journal. There's only one suffix here, which is est, and combining these factors, we have artist, cyclist, guitarist, and journalist. And here are some notes. Not all nouns that end in or describe people or jobs. For example, a cooker is a machine that cooks things, not a chef. And a calculator is a machine that can calculate, not a person who can do so. And nouns that end in have an active meaning, while those ending in e have a passive meaning. A payee is a person who is paid, and a payer is a person that pays. And next, let's talk about beliefs and languages. We often add ism to nouns and adjectives to describe a belief or a set of ideas. For instances, social, socialism, nation, nationalism, totalitarian, totalitarianism. And here is the table containing countries, services, and nationality and languages. As you can see, by adding is to China, Vietnam, and Portugal, we have Chinese, Vietnamese, and Portuguese. By adding in to Italy, Hungary, Austria, we have Italian, Hungarian, and Austrian. And finally, by adding h to Finland, Poland, and Spain, we have Finnish, Polish, and Spanish. It is important to note one thing. They are names of some languages that do not follow these patterns, which I've mentioned. For example, people of the Netherlands speak a language called Dutch, and people in Greece call themselves Greek. And finally, the third headline will conclude my part, nouns from verbs and adjectives. And to form nouns from verbs, we can add a number of suffixes like mens, shin, Asian, or sin. Let's look at the examples here. Argue, govern to arguments and governance. Educate, produce to education and production. Examine, explain to examination and explanation. Decide and discuss to decision and discussion. And similarly, we use ness, et, ens, or ens to form nouns from adjectives. Blind, dark to blindness and darkness. Able and equal to ability and equality. Distant, important to distance and importance. Independence and silence to independence and silence. Now this is the end of my part, and Duy will continue with the presentation.
Well, greeting ma'am Vân Di, and no, greeting ma'am Lan Hương, and the other student on this online platform. My name is Trần Duy Tường, and I will give you a quick synopsis about forming adjective from noun and verbs, and how to negativize the adjective. So as you can see, that the verbs, noun and adverb, is one of the most important part besides grammar, phrasal verb, and other kind of thing in colloquial and conversational languages. And so in this article that I have read 2 or 3 days ago, I have highlighted maybe some more strategic adjectives they form from nouns and verbs like perilous, harmful, conventional, appropriate, prominent, merciless, etc. So you as an English learner, you are supposed to conduct, or you are required to come up with these adjectives, and all you need to do is follow some simple rules, and it's pretty easy. So if you have a noun or a verb, just add a, on, I, us, in, or if. National, filthy, perilous, urgent, or appropriate. However, these suffix, some of them carry some special meanings, like less for without and no. A case in point, my gosh, is a careless dog. Full for displaying something beautiful, lustful, and able for for the possibility of something. I am able to run through the COVID checkpoint some kind of it. And in this part, I want to give you a particular information that about some. Did you know? Well, did you know that in speaking language, people tend to use H to make the meaning quicker? It's just like instead of saying his hair is that dark, they can say he's got darkish hair. And this kind of using language is specifically used in British conversation. And so, and that is the part about how to form adjective. So what about when you want to negativize it, or you could say how to change the meaning of adjective instead of using not plus adjective like it is not polite to eat by negative. You can use some prefix to change the meaning. A case in point is impolite to eat by negative. Well, as I said before, this course or this grammar course is a set of rules, and all you need to do is a strict adherence and compliance. Next, please. Well, just like at the form part, you just need to add some prefix, and in this box you need to add some prefix like dishonest, unhappy, irresponsible, illogical, incomplete, and impolite. However, there are some friendly tips and amicable advice that we can add the prefix to an adjective which already add a suffix like have, helpful, and unhelpful, dependent, and independent. However, if the adjective begin with the P, we often use not in, imperfect, not imperfect, impartial, not impartial. Here we go before R, irresponsible, irrelevant, and E will be placed right before L, such as illogical or illiterate, not illiterate, okay? So besides nouns and adjectives, that can conduct a normal sentence for daily conversation. What other aspect in German is a crucial one. Thiên Phú will give you a quick synthesis.
Thank you, Yi Tường. Now, let's turn our attention to the next part, forming verbs. The first thing I'm going to talk about is forming verbs from nouns and adjectives. So, we can add some suffixes to turn nouns and adjectives into verbs. Here is a table representing 4 specific suffixes: isolate, un, 8, and 5. The first suffix is isolate. When we combine some nouns and adjectives, such as special, summary, or modern, with isolate, we will have specialized, summarized, and modernized. Next, by connecting un with words like awake, flat, length, short, they will turn into awaken, flatten, lengthen, and shorten. Then, words like active, different, and valid, when combined with age, will be changed into activate, differentiate, and validate. Finally, the suffix fine can turn note, solid, and false to notify, solidify, and falsify. Please remember that the verb's meaning is so widely related to the original adjective or nouns. For example, your hair is too long, shorten it or get out of the house. So shorten here means make something shorter. Or when we say our city is modernized, it means that our city is become more and more modern. Next, I will present to you a special way to change verbs meaning using prefixes. Prefixes are short additions to the beginning of the word to change its meaning. Here are some prefixes shown in the table. First, we have re. Re means do again. Some of the examples are repay, repeal, rethink, and replay. Second, we have this. This means not or stopped. For instance, we have disagree, dislike, or disconnect. The third prefix is over. Its meaning is too much. Some examples of this prefix are overeat, overreact, or overheat. The next three prefixes are un, miss, and out. Un represents the opposite or reverse action. We can say undress, unpack, or unfold. Miss indicates a bad or wrong action, like misbehave, misjudge, and misinform. Finally, out means more, better, or further. For instance, we can use outdo, outgrow, or outperform. So we have already gone through some ways to form adjective, nouns, and verbs. But is there any other sophisticated parts we need to learn about? Now let's move on to first part about compound nouns and adjectives. Việc tắt slide đi chiếu, việc tắt đi.
Hello, my name is Phi, and I will talk about Unit 98 about compound nouns and adjectives. The first thing is compound nouns. So compound nouns are made of is a noun that is made of two words. Here example, for example, fight and fighter. We combine the two words and make firefighter. Here's some notes. Some compound nouns are written as one word. For example, the word homework is written as one, while some other are written as two separate words. For example, the noun living room. So if you want to create a compound noun, you have to combine two words. Here are some way you can create a compound noun. For example, you can combine two nouns, combine a noun and a verb, which have the suffix and noun and a verb in an adjective and a noun preposition effort with verb or noun and verb and preposition or effort. One more thing to know is that the stress of a compound noun is placed on the first syllable of the compound noun. For example, the traffic jam, we have the stress on the first with a train and underground on the here you can compare to this because to sentence. He is an English teacher, which means she teaches English. And the second one, he's an English teacher, which means he's English. So you should be careful on the way you stress the compound nouns because they have different meaning. So next thing we talk is compound adjectives. So they are adjectives that are made of two words. Somewhere they are made from a number measurement plus a noun, an adjective, and a noun, and adjective, or a verb and a preposition or adverb, an adjective or an adverb with an ed or ing participle of the word self and a verb, an adjective, or a noun. Yeah, you should know that when compound adjectives go before a noun, it should have a hyphen between the words, like a fast-moving car would have a hyphen between fast and moving. The second thing is the noun in the compound adjectives is usually singular. So, for example, a 10 years old boy is wrong, why we should use a 10-year-old boy without an S in the word years. So that's the end of my part. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you everyone. Okay, it's quite brief, right? You talk a lot in the book. Yes, so let me summarize and give you an emphasis on some of the notes here. Wait a minute. So it's good that you can present all of your parts. Well, so as you see for module 17, we focus on the collocation and phrasal verbs, which helps a lot in our writing and speaking, right? And remember, usually we use phrasal verbs in speaking because it's informal. Whereas in our module 18, we will focus on the formation of the word, and it helps us to get the meaning right. Word formation. Okay, so I'm sharing you the screen. Right, so first let's look at the different parts of the word. So usually a normal word, we call it is the root, right? And to have different members in the word family, we can add suffix and or prefix. For example, the word here, read is the root, right? And we can add able. It is the suffix and after the root. It is called suffix, right? And it means which can be done. So readable means it is can be read. So another example is the prefix, which can be added before the word, before the root here. So if we add un, so we have unreadable. That means not. So unreadable means can't be read, right? So the three different parts, prefix first, root, and then suffix. So we need to understand that when we add the suffix, we can change the part of speech. So like read is a verb, right? But if we add able, that means it's become an adjective. The same here, another example, we have act is a verb. And if we add suffix if, so we have active, it is an adjective. If we add more like ate here, so activate, it is a verb again. And activation with tion at the end, we have a noun. Okay, so when we add suffix, we can change the part of speech. However, if we change the prefix, we only change the meaning. Okay, for example, we have the verb write. It is an action, right? So a verb write, and we add re. Re is a prefix add before write, so we have rewrite. That means write again. Okay, or rebuild means build again. So for each of the prefix, they have a different meaning. They have a fixed meaning, right? So for this one, we can also have a look at the list. You can find it on Google, okay? Because in our book, they mention some of them as an examples. However, that's not enough. So if you want to find out more, you just need to Google and you can find list of all of them. So some of the other examples which are very familiar, we have this or un, like disappear or undo. The meaning is reverse. So appear, reversed, it is disappear, okay? And do and undo. So reverse what we do, it is undo. So for mean before, we can add into foresee or forecast. Miss mean bad or wrongly, like misspell or misunderstand, kind of like that, okay? So we can have a look of all the prefixes here. Similar to prefix, you can also find suffixes all in Google, right? Just Google and you can find the list. Some of the examples, we have meant, ness, full, less, us, all, eyes. So you see, I just take out some of the examples of the suffixes. The differences between them is that they make different parts of speech of the words. Like meant and ness will make nouns. Full and less and us, for example, and on here also makes the adjectives. And eyes can make verb, right? So at home, of course, we can also write down the list and try to remember the meaning, find out more of the examples. So that is one way, okay? Put them into prefixes, suffixes with the meaning. Another way that we can organize them is like to put them into different groups. So just like your friend says, which suffixes can make the nouns, and then give examples. Which suffixes can make nouns? Let's have a look. So we have a lot, right? So in grammar exercises, we can find out. Okay, so maybe we have some exercise like multiple choice question, and they ask us to fill in with the correct part of speech. We can recognize that, okay, so this word ends with meant or tion, so we know that it is a noun. But here we need a verb, so we don't choose meant or tion at the end, for example. Okay, so let's have a look. We have meant, ness, tion, t or it, on, not only in natural, right? We can have on as the noun. Ens, hood, dumb, ship, and ism. So let's think of the examples. We have government, sadness, attention, television, ability, arrival. Okay, so this is a noun, not an adjective. Convenience, significance, neighborhood, freedom, relationship, and idealism. So just give one example for each. You can find out more. Some of the suffixes for verbs mentioned: define, eyes, an, aids. And the examples: clarify, modify. We can also have modernize, industrialize, widen, lengthen, strengthen, kind of like that, and differentiate, coordinate. So we can realize that it is the verbs. Adjectives can end with many different suffixes like full, if, ik, able, us, ish, ing or ed, e and li also, okay, and all. So remember, there's some of the adjectives that can end with li, like friendly, lovely, although li is mostly appeared in the adverbs, right? Like beautifully, easily, basically. Okay, so put them into different groups. Depends on the part of speech that they create. So I have one practice for you. I just want you to write your answers right away in the chat box. Okay, so I give you one word and ask you to form a different part of speech of that word. So for example, I have the word assume. Can you give me the noun of the word assume? Okay, so if you know, please write in the chat box. What is the noun of the verb assume? Anyone? Just guess. Okay, so I see one person raising hand. Yes, okay. So Xuân Nguyên, please.
So the noun is assumption.
Yes, that's good. Assumption, correct. Well, I can see many of the answers here. Yeah. Tự nhiên cái nó xuất hiện cùng một lúc một đống từ luôn. Tức là nãy giờ cô bị lag hả các bạn? Okay, thank you. That's good. And you all have correct spelling. Amazing. Yes, so we know that we add shun to make a noun here, but it's not only like assume, assume, and then we add shun. We need to also maybe change a little bit. So we have assumption with assump and then shun. Well done. Okay. The second one is botany. Botany. And we need to make a noun. We talk about a person. Yeah, okay, right. So we add ist. Yeah, okay, good job, everyone. Credible. Now we need to make an adverb with a negative prefix. adverb with negative prefix, so prefix and suffix at a time. Yes. Okay, so the first one is ca, but wrong spelling, right? Okay, right. Oops. Okay, my mistake. Incredibly, right? And criticism. Adverbs is critically, right? Just move on. Deepen. What is the noun? Can you recognize the root and then change it into the noun? Okay, right. So deepen is the verb with n at the end, right? So deep is the root here, and we change into depth. Yes. Next is denial. It is, yeah, it is a noun, right? And really quickly, we have the answer. Undeniable. Good job. We need an adjective, so it is able, not ably. Okay. Undeniable. Diagnose. The noun is, yes, correct. Well done. Okay. Move on to emit. Emission. Good. Yes. Okay. Really quickly. Last one for this page. Yes. Quite long, right? To make an adverb. Yes. Environmentally. Another one we have conclusion. Let's make an adjective with negative prefix. Oh, really quick. Phi. Huỳnh Anh, good job. Thiên Lý, yes, right. Inconclusive, yeah. Contradictions. It is a noun. We can see shun here. So make an adjective. Okay, so you have the same answers. Here I have contradictory. Yes, I can see Thùy Trang has contradictory. Yes, so it's more common, right? Those words are used a lot, right? So the next is very familiar in IELTS writing. Yes, you can add the negative prefix here. And remember the correct spelling without L, okay? Because I see when people write their task, usually many of them write it with the wrong spelling because they usually remember it as like control. it's not correct. Next one. Make a verb. Yeah, okay, my mistake. This one is easy. We have demonstrates, right? How about the noun of distorted? Yes. Okay, good, Phi. Xuân Mai, yes, that's right. Ka. Distortion, yes. Emphasize. The adjective is adjective. And yes, I see the first from Hami. Yes, Anh Thư, good. Anh Khoa, that's right. So emphatic. Next one, erode. Yeah, okay, this one is easier. Erosion, correct. Evident. Evident is ENT at the end. Yes, so to make noun, we just need to change evidence. And the last one is exceed. Yeah, okay, always be good. Khoa, Kha, yeah, Quốc Anh, good. Excessive, right. Thank you, good job. Move on to the last part is about compound words, right? So specifically, I talk about compound nouns here. So as your friend has mentioned, just want to emphasize one more time about the stress, right? Be careful with the stress of compound nouns. If we say a greenhouse, it is stress on two words because the two pieces of information are equally important, right? This is a house, and what color is it? It is green, right? So equally important. However, if we say it is a greenhouse, that means it is a compound word, a compound noun. So the building made of glass for growing plants inside, it is one word here. So it is only one stress for green. Oops. So remember that for the compound words, we also have three different ways to write. Some of them have no space between. Some of them are separated with space, and some of them are separated with a hyphen. So actually, we can check dictionary if we want to make sure. However, some of the words have more than one way to write. Okay. So just do this quickly for fun because it's too easy. The first one is butterfly. Yes, butter and fly. We have butterfly. This one. Yes, good job, Xuân Quyên. Raincoat. The third one. Yes. Okay, so toothbrush. Correct. The fourth one, a little bit more difficult. Do you know? This is an animal, and this is a part of the animal's body. Yeah, pigtail. Good. Right. Correct. Pigtail. Number 5. Yeah. Pick snowman. Snowman, right. Yeah, many of you also think of the word Snow White, right? But it is a man, so snowman. And the last one is sunglasses. Yes. Yeah. So always try to think of the pictures, the images when we remember words, so it is easier for us, right? So the last practice here, try to form the compound nouns with space, without space, or with hyphen. Okay, so I'm going to share a Jamboard. If you can, please write on the Jamboard. If you can't edit it, you can write your answers here in the chat box. Okay, but easy. It's easier for us if you write here. Jamboard open. Create and share. Right. So in total, we have 16 words. Think carefully. You need to match the two columns. So you can create the notes. It's easier, okay? Or of course, you can also draw a text box and write. Remember to write your name also. Yeah, so let me share again this one. Let's do it. Write the word with space, without space, or with hyphen. Don't write 1A to B, okay? Okay, 5 more minutes. Hurry up. Yes, everyone, let's have a look. I can see Phi bảo Khoa Thuận, Gia Trân, Hà My, anh Tú. Who's here? Ngọc Trân. Okay. Minh Thư, An Khánh, Hiệu Khánh, Chí Nhân, Phú, An Hải Vân. Okay. Also Huỳnh, Anh Thiên, Lý, Duy Tường, Xuân Quyên. Right, so let me show the answers. Who is doing the last one? Please write your name on the first page. Still, there's someone editing the answers. So please remember to write your name. Okay. Right, let's check. Housework. Together. No space. Daughter-in-law. We need hyphen, right? Full moon. Eyelid. Hair dryer. Hair dryer, sometimes we don't need space. Sunglasses. Airstream and Airstream, space or no space. Toothbrush. Tennis shoe. Boyfriend. Fish tank. Thunderstorm. Sometimes we can add space. Great grandfather. This one we need a hyphen. Swimming pool. Bus stop and babysitter. Okay, let's check if we have all correct answers or not. So check it yourself. If you have all correct answer, please write your name here in the chat box so after that I will check it again and give you bonus later. Anyone? Yes, okay, good job, Wing. I see you give two answers for boyfriend is a lover. And yes, boyfriend is a male friend, yes. Hoài Bảo, Hà My, Hải Vân, Thúy Điệp. Minh Thư, Anh Khoa, Nguyên Phi, yes. Check it. Okay, right. Chí So I know today we go a little bit fast, right? We need to cover 2 lessons at a time. So please at home remember to do all the exercises in the book so that we can remember the knowledge better. However, we don't have enough time to correct all of them. So for next week, we focus on one unit. The last unit, unit 19, we need one more group to present, right? And also we will take a little time at the beginning of the lesson to correct the review and the test module for module 17 and 18. Okay, so we only focus on correcting review and test module. So remember to at least do all of these parts. If we have more time, do the other exercises and also find out more materials in different textbooks so that we can practice more and more. Okay. Anything else to remind you? So can I ask which group presents module 19? Okay, I'm quiet. Yes, I'm waiting. Formal and written English, right? Module 19 is the last one. You have 2 days left, so next week we have module 19, and if we have time we will do a little review for on 4 units. However, I don't think we have lots of time for that, so maybe you need to review them by yourself, and we will have mini tests after that. Yes, after next week. So 2 more weeks to go, and that's also the last day. So for June the 23rd, we will study module 19 and review. Then June the 30th, so we have mini test 3 covered on 4 modules from 16 to 19. We will do correction for the test on that day also, and have some more time. We will have a look at the final test last year. Okay, let me ask if our class have the part of writing correction already. I'm not sure. Have we corrected the writing paragraphs exercise I gave you online, right? Let me check. Check. Where is it? Cô có cho các bạn viết cái phần bài viết rồi đúng không các bạn? Phần bài writing á. Có không? Viết cái bài writing. Ủa chưa viết bài.
Dạ chưa cô.
Ủa chưa viết luôn á hả? Oh really? Ủa sao lớp mình chưa viết bài writing luôn? Sao kỳ vậy ta? Rồi trời đất ơi. Vậy thôi. Tuần này các bạn nói chung là cũng phải ôn tới 2 bài lận, cho nên thôi chắc cô chưa cho viết đâu. Có thể tuần sau cô sẽ cho viết. Nói chung là cái bài viết đó thì không lấy điểm, nhưng mà ví dụ như mình có cái thời gian một chút xíu vào cái buổi cuối á, thì cô sẽ sửa thử một vài bài viết. Cô muốn sửa thử một vài bài viết để các bạn coi được cái cách chấm nè là 1, với lại mình practice canh giờ là 2. Tại vì mình biết rồi ha, ở đây là bạn hỏi là final test là online hay off. Cô nghĩ là final test thì trên tinh thần thì nó vẫn là off, tức là mini test thì dĩ nhiên là online rồi ha. Nhưng mà cái final test thì chưa có thông báo gì của trường hết, cho nên là mình phải đợi. Nếu mà trường thấy lâu quá tại vì các bạn cái khóa của các bạn là học 5 tiết buổi sáng, cho nên là các bạn finish sớm hơn là một số cái lớp khác. Có một số lớp là tới 15 buổi lận, cho nên là kết thúc 15 buổi á, thì mình mới biết là trường ra quyết định như thế nào. Chờ cô chút xíu 2 phút nha. Cái điện thoại này nó ok rồi, đã tắt. Kết thúc 15 buổi thì trường mới bắt đầu thông báo là final test mình làm như thế nào ha. Nếu mà tình hình dịch kéo dài thì cô nghĩ là cũng có thể có khả năng là final test sẽ online, thì nhưng mà cái đó là nó chưa biết sẽ như thế nào. Chừng nào có thông báo thì mình sẽ chờ sau. Còn trong quá trình mình kết thúc sớm thì các bạn cũng cố gắng ôn tập một chút xíu, dần dần đi, chứ đừng có đợi tới mà nó nói thi rồi mình mới ôn ha. Rồi còn lo lắng gì nữa không? Rồi tạm thời cứ chuẩn bị cho buổi tuần sau trước đi. Module 17, 18 do the exercise and prepare for module 19. That's it.
Dạ cô ơi, tuần
Ơi.
sau nữa mình làm mini test ạ?
Đúng rồi, tức là tuần sau là chưa, tuần sau còn một bài cuối, xong tuần sau nữa là mình còn một cái mini test number 3, là mình vẫn làm online luôn, giống như bài số 2 hôm bữa. Tại vì trên tinh thần là mình chưa được đi học lại đâu ha.
Dạ vâng.
Yes. Rồi thì nhắc luôn là bạn nào mà điểm còn chưa cao mấy, mình muốn gỡ điểm thì các bạn nhớ là làm bài đầy đủ, bữa sau thì mình xung phong giơ tay sửa bài lấy bonus ha. Hôm nay rất nhiều bạn được bonus rồi đó. Mini test hả? Lúc nào chả dễ, dễ hơn final. Final hồi nó sẽ khó hơn. Okay, thank you everyone for joining class. Goodbye.